of great subplots here tonight. It's second down. 3-down football tonight here in Canada. Masoli goes deep, and he's got his man. It's Jalen Saunders. Saunders having a monster start to the season, had a big play like that last week against the Red Blacks, but the Cats could not finish off the drive. And how about this play out of the chute for Jeremiah Masoli, 48 yards.
Yeah, Masoli taking advantage of one of the weaknesses here in Montreal. To the newcomer in the secondary, TJ Heath, part of a trade with Toronto.
Second down, Masoli, a quick hitter. Finds Brandon Batts. See if they can finish here. Masoli, and he's got his man. He's got the touchdown. Brandon Banks, and the opening drive, the Hamilton Tiger Cats take it to the house.
That's the speed I'm talking about into the short side of the field. Chris Williams and Brandon Banks together. They can flat out fly over there, and this is exactly what Jeremiah Masoli is going to do, is use his receiver speed to their advantage. Put it out there in front of him and let number 16 run underneath it.
He was wide open on an island. Brandon Banks, who can usually run away from everybody.
Yeah, they dropped the coverage, the Alouettes, in the...
Got a pick off Johnny football. Masoli's in trouble. Here comes Chris Aki, and Masoli throws down near the goal line for Terrence Tolliver back in the lineup. And the Cats look like they're going to go first and goal. Depending on the spot, it is first and goal after that catch by Terrence Tolliver.
When you talk about escaping the rush, I know we've talked a lot about number 2 for the Montreal Alouettes and his ability in his past escaping the rush. Well, Jeremiah Masoli can do it as well, and that's a great example of him buying time, getting on the run to the outside and find second down. And then they got the speed on the short side.
John Bowman's back in the game. Luke Tasker's first catch in a few weeks. He had a lower body injury and was nursing that, so he's back in, and he's been Jeremiah Masoli's safety valve.
There's Luke Tasker. He's going to just run that dig route. Look forward to the field, counting the tailback. Just underneath the zone coverage, and good production on first down.
16-yard. The run by Timmis. Stays in the backfield and stays in the block. Here comes the blitz. Masoli unloads, and it's caught. Touchdown. Jalen Saunders. The Cats are roaring here tonight in Montreal.
Jalen Saunders ranked 3rd in the CFL in receiving coming into the week. I mean, this has been a primary target. He's got a little bit of it all. I mean, you got on the short side Banks and Chris Williams with the speed. He's a route runner, but he can get in behind you as well, so he forces DBs.
Jeremiah Masoli's off to a lightning start. So is this guy, though. Luke Tasker's
his number, 7 for 8. Well over 100 yards already.
Last week, sacked 5 times. He has 2 interceptions, both off of Manziel. Masoli looking to make Montreal pay again. Cutting back now, Brandon Banks. Trying to get the sideline, gets a block from Masoli. And Banks is
his teammates will love that. I mean, you know, you don't want your quarterback getting in harm's way when he doesn't have to, but the teammates absolutely love. First of all, not that Manziel threw the interception, but that he made the tackle. And now watch Masoli. He sees Brandon Banks reverse his field. Now he's going to go get that lead block. And that's a pretty good block out in the open field.
5-point Cat lead. Masoli delivers. Tasker hauling it in. Robinson again trying to swipe at that football to no avail. 19-yard pickup for number 17.
Jeremiah Masoli back in that groove and that rhythm.
But like the Cats, have not forced many this season. Masoli from the pocket goes chucking, looks for Saunders, who has it, and Jalen Saunders comes back to the football, goes up and gets it. And the Alouettes again give up a big play early on here in this first half.
Masoli, first of all, trusts Jalen Saunders on the throw, and that's, as I mentioned, his #1 target of late. And Taekwon Glass lost his man. He lost his man on the ball. You're going to see a reaction from 22 right afterwards.
Masoli pulls it back. And everybody faked out, thought it was going to Alex Green and Jeremiah Masoli. Owls give up 415 yards per game, last in the CFL, and Masoli's putting on a clinic. Avoids the sack. Now he has to do his own improvisation and is maybe able to get a yard or two, avoiding the sack.
Boy, he's strong. Strong when it comes to breaking those tackles. If you try and sack him and hit him high, try and pull him down from the shoulder.
Defenses, and he has that rapport with them, and it's obvious when you take a look at these plays here. Somebody like a Jalen Saunders that has been on fire this first 6 weeks of the season, and then you're talking about Luke Tasker and how important it is to have a veteran receiver to see it like a quarterback does. Timing is impeccable.
You're right about that, and this offense is complete. They finally got Alex Green back. All the different weapons that he's been able to throw to when he was having success. Offensive line has been giving him time, and you know what the thing that
battle, hardly any touchdowns until late. Lost it to Ottawa. This is third and almost 3 yards. Trying to get the Owls to jump. 2.5 yards here. Masoli and will get the first down. Saunders again.
Gunned it. That's a fastball to Jalen Saunders. Teams take advantage of those situations, and Jeremiah Masoli has done that in this game, and he's done it when he's played against the Eastern Division, and that's an important part of of your schedule when you have those 4-point games. The 2 you get, the 2 they don't get. 5-1.
What he's done in actually a short period of time. He hasn't had a lot of starts, but he's in the CFL record book quite a bit. Masoli, a little pump here, and in traffic, Saunders is sandwiched. He's able to duck at the last moment, and a good toss by Masoli, who often operates at a very high percentage.
But this is the difference. Jeremiah Masoli working with Jalen Saunders out on the sideline on a wheel route, timing route between 2 defenders. Look at the window he had to throw it in there. One coming downhill, one chasing, and he had to put it right in that spot as Saunders came out of the Jalen Saunders came out of the break.
Tiger Cats. Tough first test. The guy was the backup to that guy, Jeremiah Masoli, who has been nothing short of outstanding tonight. Cats looking to snap their 3-game losing streak in a large way.
Jeremiah Masoli, take him out after this drive. Maybe even Alex Green just coming off the injury list.
And Masoli, though, now throws the pitch back to Brandon Banks. Masoli doing a little running, then dropping it off to Banks. Does a lot of that with he and Brandon Banks, that sort of option pitch. You don't see the option run 10 yards downfield, though.
Well, no, this is, he made this up on the fly. I guarantee you that. He just saw him out there and tossed it outside. Those are the things you mess around with in practice. But when you have a 41-3 lead, say it lessens the risk.
Well, I think you're seeing the answer. Dane Evans, they really like it. Hamilton to back up to Jeremiah Masoli. The worst thing you want to do
defense that he can get. On the other hand, it looks like he's kind of shutting it down a little bit. It doesn't look like Menzel is in there.
Pretty positive guy. This one's pretty safe. Rush 5. Wide guy, but he has a lot of inner fire. And you have to think, too, that all of the talk, and even yesterday, very short answers when we asked him about Manziel and that, and he's quite a good buddy of Johnny Manziel. They were good friends on the team, but I think it would irk you after a while. That's all you hear as he throws one up to the corner, and Jalen Saunders does it again.
It is. This team improves to 3-4 with the win tonight. Toronto with the comeback win last night gets their second win. And Ottawa at 4-3, all of a sudden the East Division tightens up a little bit. with Montreal on the outside looking in, but they have their own storyline to follow over the next month or so.
Masoli dancing, tucks it, takes it to the end zone. Jeremiah Masoli.
That's a good way to finish it for him.
The silencer here. And actually, they silenced this crowd in the first quarter. Jeremiah Masoli could not have put a bigger exclamation point on this game than what he did right there.
Well, last year he earned his right, and I'll give June Jones a ton of credit here, because with all the hype that was going on with Johnny Manziel early in Hamilton through training camp, he said from day one Jeremiah Masoli was his guy. And he didn't give in to the noise and everybody wanting to see Manziel and all that. It was Jeremiah Masoli all the way. Well, meanwhile, Masoli was doing his part, throwing for 300 a game.
If they have to look at any of their mistakes tonight, that's a very small point of film, and I don't think they're going to look at that.
I don't think they'll worry about that.
But they are a field goal away from 50. Jeremiah Masoli, he's probably done for the night. So are the Alouettes. And getting some healthy bodies back, and Jeremiah Masoli, I think, getting some confidence back in the kitchen after that last drive last week. He was talking yesterday about how disappointed they were this week with their play calling, with their execution. They have been executing tonight. Brandon Banks, who started it all off in the first series.
I hear you, but I'm just going to flat out say it. They got to get him out.
Yeah, I would
They got to
agree
get him
with you.
out. I mean, June Jones, this has been a well-coached beatdown. And, it happens. You get on the wrong side of these sometimes. If you played the game, you've been on the wrong side of these, and you've been on the right side of them. And right now, June Jones called a great game. His quarterback was on, but now you got to protect and get him out of there.
Nothing else good can happen here.
No,
Everything
exactly.
else great has happened.
Mission accomplished.
It's done.